Christopher Sarro, President of Hull Construction. I'm proud to announce that the Port Authority of New York and New Jersey, in partnership with American Airlines, URW Airports, has announced a $125 million commercial redevelopment of JFK's Terminal 8. As the project's construction partner, Holt Construction is pleased to partner with URW to introduce our new information and technical assistance program designed to connect you to opportunities available across the 24-month redevelopment of Terminal 8, all part of the Port Authority's $19 billion airport redevelopment program that is transforming New York's airport system. Working with our partners at the Port Authority, American Airlines, URW, and Phoenix Infrastructure, we have designed a special series of programs that will help you learn more about the project, the business and contracting opportunities that are right for your company, and how your business can participate. Thank you for joining us, and we look forward to partnering together.
Thank you for joining our session to meet the team working on our JFK Terminal 8 concession redevelopment project. I'm Jessica, and I'll be your moderator. And now let's introduce our panelists. Let's start with Rob.
Hi, I'm Robert Cruzan, Senior Project Manager with Holt Construction.
And now Joshua.
Thank you, Jessica. Joshua Mandel, Vice President with URW and Project Executive for the program.
Great. Now Robert Kipp.
Robert Kipp, Senior General Superintendent, New York Aviation, Holt Construction.
Rosie.
Rosie Klaj, Project Compliance Manager for Holt Construction.
And finally, Christiana.
Christiana Walterstorff, Assistant Project Manager for Holt Construction.
Great. So now let's move on to what the scope of the work is for our Terminal 8 concession redevelopment. Rob and Joshua, can you jump on that one for us?
Yeah, thank you, Jessica. The initial parts of the redevelopment will include 2 large ramp infills that'll increase our leasable square footage, as well as 2 moving walkway removals. Additionally, we'll be doing some concessions work, which I'll let Joshua speak about.
Thank you, Rob. Yeah, from the tenant perspective, it will all be exclusively tenant work itself. What Rob just described is the capital work that URW and Holt are doing together. There are 60 plus stores that are tenant concession spaces, which will be done exclusively by the tenants and their tenant teams. We have some that are as small as 100 square feet, up to 500 or so. That's the smaller group. We have 500 to 1,000. We have 1,000 and up. Beyond that, we also have 2 major programs. We have a massive food hall undertaking to really bring a world-class selection of food and offer to the terminal in a beautiful format, and a whole duty-free suite of stores, which will be the other part of the main core of the program, and everything in between. As part of that too, it'll be different types of tenant work. Some will be literally from ground up. There's nothing in the space now. It'll be structure and all the work beyond that to create the concession. Others will be taking over existing spaces, which would be a full demolition, and then to build forward from there under the new program. There'll be new restaurants with roof work and penetrations, highly technical, and basic retail and such. And once again, everything in between.
Wonderful. Sounds extremely exciting. So now we know everyone's titles, but let's dive in a little more into what exactly you're overseeing on the project and how much support you'll be giving the contractors that are working on the project with us. So let's start with Rob Cruzan on that one.
Yeah, so the initial part that I discussed we'll be working on is the capital works. We'll also be doing some infrastructure associated with the new tenant work. As far as contractor support, communication and coordination are key to success of Holt Construction and our subcontract partners. We'll be looking to help them as much as possible with getting into the space, working around through the space, and keeping open lines of communication with the field teams to ensure that we have seamless execution of the project.
Great. And Rosie, can you tell us what you'll be overseeing on the project?
So I will be overseeing the compliance. So the compliance is all the paperwork and all the fun stuff that everybody doesn't like doing. However, I make it seamless and easy for the subs. So the subs will be in constant communication with me throughout the duration of the project. Monthly basis, I'll be sending out emails, making sure you guys are in compliance with ports requirements as well as Westfield's requirements.
Great. And how about you, Christiana?
I will be assisting the subcontractors with the submittal and RFI process. We will review project specifications and drawings to ensure that we are submitting the appropriate products for use. And I will also be assisting with reviewing any potential clashes on the drawings, along with Robert and the subcontractors as well.
Wonderful. And now, Robert Kipp, can you tell us what you'll be doing from a field perspective?
From a field perspective, my purview is logistics, access, security, safety, quality control, constructability analysis. Basically, if you have a problem, you can come to me and I'll help you solve it.
Wonderful. And Joshua?
As URW's project executive, I have the privilege of overseeing the whole project, specifically with Holt on the capital work. I will be shoulder to shoulder with everybody that you just met to make that all happen and to, again, thread it together in a seamless fashion. Additionally, myself, my team, URW, we oversee all the tenant design, permitting, development process itself. So heavily involved in every aspect of the tenant work itself. That's with oversight and rule enforcement. That's coordinating the tenants through the design, as I said, and the other steps along that to opening, working with their architectural engineering groups, their general contractors, the base building coordination across the boards, all the way through to the interaction, the administrative aspect with the Port Authority. Again, rules and regs are very important here to work with KIP on the logistics as far as getting everything in and out of the building itself, the personnel and the troubleshooting for everything we just mentioned across the boards.
Wonderful. Okay, so now I want you all to give me some examples of when a subcontractor or vendor, someone we're working with, would reach out to you directly for help or assistance. So Kip, can you give us some examples on that?
Sure, thank you. So I'll use a typical example where a subcontractor or a vendor has a piece of equipment or material that needs to make it into the building. They have no idea, it won't fit through the doors, it won't fit through the elevator. How are we going to access it? How is it going to be brought in? How is it going to be security vetted? Does it need to go through TSA? Does it need to go through one of the guard posts? Does it need to be brought in airside, brought through an A-way corridor? Does it need to be brought in at night through a sterile corridor under guard? I'll help and assist with determining the best course of action, meeting all the requirements, so that way we can still get the work done.
Wonderful. And Rosie, can you give us an example?
So usually what ends up happening is we have specific reports that are due to the port on a monthly basis. A lot of the time, there are some issues within those programs that the subs cannot fix themselves. So I am the point contact person for our subcontractors, their sub-tiers and their suppliers to Port Authority and to Westfield. So I am the messenger. When those issues do arise, I'm the one you guys come to, then I will handle it on the back end. And once everything's resolved, then I assist the subs with either explaining how to upload documentation or what needs to be done, or specific information that the subs have, but don't know what to fill out on these forms.
Great. And how about you, Christiana?
A typical example is when we have subcontractors who may want to use products that are not included in our specifications. So they would reach out to review the substitution request form process, and I assist them in making it seamless package submittal for the design team to review and approve or disapprove.
Wonderful. And Rob?
Thank you, Jessica. Yeah, as the senior project manager, I would be involved in the final bid leveling, contract awards, and award recommendations to URW. Beyond that, post award, when we're in construction, the majority of the correspondence will come through me. I should be copied on everything. I typically am involved in every step of the process, from submittals to RFIs to field operations. So my purview is kind of everything on the project. I like to be in open communication with all of our subcontractors and vendors at all times, so I know everything that's going on the project.
Wonderful. And last but not least, Joshua.
Well, as far as the capital work, I will absolutely, with reverence and respect and appreciation, say that I'll be working with and through the fine Holt team. In that case, I'd be more of a client rep and working seamlessly to make sure that we all get where we need to together, but deferring to the expertise of everybody you just met along those lines. Regarding the tenant work, I have a whole development team as part of URW that will be the shepherd, the North Star for all the tenant work. That's to guide and clarify and support and troubleshoot as needed. Subs inherently will work through their general contractor, to be clear on that, but we are always accessible as needed to mostly bring clarity to the GC to then cascade down to the subs, but available as needed across the boards on every aspect of the redevelopment.
Wonderful. And I think you touched on this a bit, but can you expand a little bit and just, Joshua, tell us how you at URW and Holt are going to work together on this project?
Absolutely. First of all, very, very happily and very excitedly, because we have a long-standing relationship together, and this is a fantastic project. So 100% engagement on every aspect of both the capital work and, as I said, on the tenant, where, let me be clear too, Holt is the tenant, is available for tenant work too, but I'm speaking specifically with the capital work when it comes to Holt. But across the boards with all the tenant general contractors and subs and specialists, again, that is full engagement with URW. For the Holt piece, we support, we rely on, and we partner with everything that we work together on. I'm sure with Rob Kipp, there's going to be a big portion of that with the logistics. We'll have communal dumpsters. We'll have the difficulties with loading in, loading out, personnel, materials, you name it. We'll have a touch in that, but with deference to the Holt expertise.
Wonderful. And now I want to talk a little bit about how we manage milestones and deadlines on the project. So Rob, can you talk a little bit about that?
Yeah, thank you, Jessica. Managing milestones and deadlines is critically important to the project. We'll have intermittent milestones that are going to be included in the subcontractors' subcontract agreements. Those milestones have to be maintained throughout the duration of the project. They typically have a knock-on effect when milestones are missed, so we do take those very seriously and do everything that we can to assist the subcontractors with their procurement and ensuring that they have materials on site, on time, ready for installation.
And Kip, can you just elaborate a little bit on that for as far as the field side goes?
So there'll be base logistics plans, but there'll be special considerations based on each of the general contractors and in the tenant fit outs that all needs to be incorporated into one program, logistic plan and phasing plan that pays special attention to all the security requirements, because there's 5 different levels of security that we'll be working in depending on the areas. We have to keep that in mind.
Wonderful. So I just want to thank you guys for joining and explaining all of this to us. As we could see, there's a lot of intricacies with working in the airport, but our team is here to help you every step of the way, whether you've worked in an airport before or not. And we're going to have more sessions in the future on other ways that we can help you along in the project. But thank you for joining. And now we're going to go over to our live Q&A.